And she seems very proud of it. Like, she revels in the glory of this battle. Like, she's doing good work by thinning out the numbers of these druids. She seems convinced that eventually she will have killed all of them.
Well, I mean, that checks out. It's only a finite number of druids.
Wait a minute. If this is linked up with the Abyss, isn't that, like, exactly the opposite of that, then?
Well, it's not the plane of druids. It's not infinite in druids in all directions.
But it's infinite of things, and
if it's an infinite plane, and in any large area of space, say a square mile, there's at least one druid, then there are infinite druids, Mahogany.
There's not one druid in every square mile of the Abyss. I'm going to be very clear about that.
It wouldn't matter how large you make the section. Eventually, you'll find a druid.
And Midnieg says,
conversation.
I call you friends, but my friends speak nonsense.
Yeah, we haven't thrown any heads at you, though.
And she says slyly that you haven't slain enough druid to have heads to throw.
She's got you there, Mahogany.
I mean, she wanted cobalt heads. We'd have her covered.
I'll ask her if she wants to come with us on our trip back.
She accepts the invitation.
Excellent.
On the journey back, she explains why she's indebted to the Swanmay. That there was a freak accident very far to the south in the river. There was a freak storm, the likes of which had not been seen in that area for a long time. She suspected it had something to do with the proximity of the area to the influence of the black dragon that lives in the mountains and in the swamps down there. But she fell into the river, and through some trick of magic, the river flowed her to the north, away from the swamp. And she was gravely injured and washed up at the banks of the lake, and was found by some of the Swanmay and taken in, and they restored her to health. And during her time there, she learned about their having recently lost one of their scouting parties to these druids, and felt that she could repay their kindness by eradicating them.
Well, there was a survivor, though I don't think she'll be very much for conversation.
Right. She has met Arendu briefly, and it was Arendu's arrival back at their temple, when she saw the evils that these druids had wrought firsthand, that really spurred Midnieg into action. But yes, she absolutely looks forward to returning to the island with you and regaling the Swanmay of her glorious tale of vengeful destruction of these druids. And over the course of the day that you travel back, the heads in her bag, she discards them, having basically rotted away. Whatever tricks she used to grow these spores inside does not last indefinitely.
So can you do that on things that aren't heads?
She says technically she could use any sort of dead matter and any kind of organic life, like a dead animal, but she thought it particularly poetic to use the heads of these slain druids.
Oh, hey, Rick, sorry to interrupt. Can I retcon rolling a few Arcana checks? Because we've had a few long rests and I keep
Yeah,
Sure.
his
I mean, don't get me wrong. Good gag. Great fun at parties.
You go ahead and use your not cipher bonus there.
Yeah. Right, so the best of these was a 13.
A 13?
Yeah.
Does Riot have in her... I don't know what the bard version of a spell book is.
Her repertoire.
The spell Mass Cure Wounds. It's a level 5 conjuration spell.
No, she's got Cure Wounds, which came from Osprey, but not Mass Cure Wounds.
But the Cure Wounds came from Osprey, so it's not a bard spell.
Nope.
Okay. You recognize the magic as... are you able to cast level 5 Bard magic?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Really?
Wait, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Okay. So you recognize it as a spell that some bards cast because you hang out at your bardic tavern. I forget what it was called. They had a cool name.
The Terrible Liar.
The Terrible Liar. And Mass Cure Wounds is a spell that does exactly what it says. And two things strike you as odd about this scroll. For one, the magics don't seem right. And you're not exactly sure how because you yourself can't cast the spell. You're not certain about the workings of the spell. You're only... I mean, you use Aura Vitality and you use Cure Wounds, but these come from different places than just knowing the arcane workings. The second thing is that you know this spell is not very far beyond your potential, but this scroll contains an extremely powerful version of it.
Okay.
The scroll is designed to be cast by a wizard, so you're like 2 levels removed from really understanding what this scroll is about. And you're certain it can't be Mass Cure Wounds because that doesn't make any sense. What's the great evil in that? That's what you get from passing an Arcana check on this scroll.
Okay. Sorry, Mahogany, continue.
No, that was basically it.
Returning back to the island. Everybody's glad to see that you've returned safely. You've been gone for 4 days. They welcome Midnieg back. Some of the Swanmay enjoy hearing her stories about hunting and killing these druids. Some of them, you can see, don't have the stomach for it. For this kind of just like righteous battle that Midnieg's been carrying out. But again, you all are shown to your guest quarters. They have some prepared for the Firbolg as well. And Serenity, you were told that they've sent a messenger out to a well-known tailor in a gnomish village who can, with some time, put together a suitable bridal gown for you in the style of their village in time for the ceremony. This is told to you by Jestra, and she seems very excited about it. And Serenity just stands, mouth agape, not knowing what to say.
So I have an idea.
Okay.
And I would like to get Hilma and Aaron and discuss something with them.
So all 3 of them, or just Helmina?
No, not Jestra.
Okay.
The idea is, what if we just did...
And where do you want this discussion to take place so that Jestra doesn't learn about it?
Well, it sounds like Arendu doesn't like to leave her quarters much, so...
Okay. And broaching it to Halima, you can tell that she doesn't particularly like to visit Arendu's quarters much. You get the sense they don't see eye to eye on a whole lot. But you manage to get the 2 together, and they're interested to hear your idea.
So, what if we were to send word to the dwarves, to the various dwarven people that escaped with you and were come back, not to come back and join a war, but to come back and build a dam that could then be removed later. It's the sort of work dwarves are good at.
Wait, it's right
It
here?
wouldn't...
It's just
It's
Serenity.
not necessarily.
Just right, okay.
Yeah, Serenity wants to pitch this alone, it sounds like.
It wouldn't, be as fast as doing it with magic, but it also wouldn't be irreversible. And that would give us time to go down there with some forces, whatever we could muster, deal with the druids with hopefully their power cut, and then let the river flow again. We could do it during the dry season even, have the minimum impact, though I don't know what your seasons are like here.
Halima kind of exchanges glances with Arendu for a second, and she says that my sister will disagree, but I think that this belief that a Dwarven alliance is coming is charitable, to say the least.
I thought so too, but again, we could offer to pay them. We have plenty of money. I'll happily donate some. Dwarves like gold.
And that point, Halima is absolutely in agreement with you. And the concern here, Halima is intrigued but unconvinced. Arindu is very brooding at the suggestion. Halima asks a lot of questions as to the timetable of this, as to how you'll get a hold of this much money, assuming that these dwarves won't do it out of obligation the way Arindu believes they will. What kind of engineering would be necessary? She's essentially looking for ways to poke holes in this suggestion so she can go back to the All-Mother and say that this dwarf thing's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So make 2 separate persuasion checks.
Okay.
Just make them regularly. And we'll see the outcome of the checks first. Actually, sit on those checks for just a minute.
Sure.
What about the rest of you hip cats?
I'm going to go over to Gestra.
Okay. What about Liberation and Mahogany?
What's Jester's thing, Nick?
She's the one who really believes in marriage.
All right. Well, the thing is, I'd like to get in on Serenity's conversation, but I don't really have a plan at the moment.
Nor I.
Okay.
I'm probably going to want to just talk to them after Serenity, then.
Okay. What was that? What were the persuasion rolls, Serenity?
An 8 and an 11.
Neither of the rangers seem convinced that this plan with the dwarves will work, for different reasons. Halima doesn't believe dwarves are forthcoming at all, and Arindu is convinced that these dwarves will bring fire and steel. They will want to see the destruction of these druids rather than embark on this giant dam project. Arindu kind of wants you out of her hair. This was a dumb idea. Why did you bring this to me? Halima is very enthused that you are strongly considering alternative solutions. She doesn't believe it'll work, but she's glad that you're taking so much of an interest. So you've convinced her that you're kind of in this to the end with them, come what may.
Well, that was my only idea.
So going to see Gestra then.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going alone?
I'm not like trying to make it secret of it. I say I'm going to go talk to Gestra. So if anyone else wants to come, they can.
Okay.
Oh, see what she has to say.
Sure.
And she's back in her quarters, and she's very excited about hearing word back from this gnomish village about Serenity's bridal garb.
So I hate to kind of let you down there, but I've been working at Serenity, who at first I thought could be swayed, but well, you don't know what a cipher is, so it's going to be hard to explain. She doesn't really listen to reason or logic. It's just she figures out what she wants, and I don't know how. And once she has, that's it. No changing your mind after that point.
Gestra, her reaction isn't as hopeless as you were maybe expecting.
Mm-hmm.
She informed Serenity last time they spoke that railing against destiny is somewhat fruitless. That though Serenity has misgivings now, and though she may try to stop the river of fate, she'll find herself unable to do so, and it will be a more painful trial, perhaps, than she was expecting. But in the end, she'll come around, because the prophecy has already ordained it.
I see. What are your plans if it doesn't?
She asks what you mean.
I mean, so you have the betrothed, right? And she needs a bride, but you can't do this without both of them saying "I do." Is how marriage works, right?
And again, her answer is that prophecy's already ordained it. Serenity will not be able to rail against it forever. It's really that simple.
Liberation looks very uncomfortable.
It's not that they're going to force her to do anything, but eventually she'll have a change of heart.
Change of mind.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps when she sees the bridal garb, she'll be so overcome with emotion.
But in the meantime, you know that the other two have their own plans.
Which neither will receive the go-ahead for their outrageous and dangerous courses of action without the Allmother. And the Allmother...
Oh, so she has a say in this?
Oh, yes. No, nothing happens without the Allmother's command.
Huh.
And right now, the Allmother wants to see this prophecy fulfilled.
Okay. Would she take a hand in this? Would she talk to Serenity? I really think there's something we need to do to get Serenity going. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen.
Make an insight check. Mahogany and Liberation, you guys can make this too.
Okay.
I feel like we've lost the thread at some point.
Oh wait, Mahogany, before you make this roll a d20 for
For the day?
For your Destructo vision.
9.
Okay.
No.
That's a 16.
16?
20.
Okay, at the answer of whether or not Serenity would speak to the Allmother, the answer is a very outright no. Tradition and culture dictate that the only ones who confer with the Allmother are the 3 Rangers. Those of you who pass the insight check, 15 or higher.
Okay.
The Allmother is a real person who really lives on the island, which means she's somewhere here.
Okay.
So you don't have permission to visit her, and Gestra would never acknowledge it, but if you're willing to break the rules, you might be able to get around the tradition that way. Who knows what would happen at that point?
Who is allowed to visit her?
The 3 Rangers.
Okay.
So Gestra,
All right.
Halaima, and Arendu.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you. And Riot will turn to Liberation after they've left Jester's chamber and say, "Disguise self, seeming. We can get in there if we want."
Yeah, we could. I mean, sure. If you don't mind,
Right.
running the risk of getting your head lopped off, but hey, what's life without a little risk, eh?
Get your head locked up and filled with mushrooms.
I can think of worse ways to go.
God,
Alright, well,
that sounds delicious.
Let's wait for Serenity to rejoin us, because I'd really like Serenity to talk to this Allmother.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Did you have a map of this place?
Does Mahogany have locate person or just locate object?
That is 100% relevant to the question that I just asked.
Okay.
No, I do not have a map of this place, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd be seeing it.
Is it on top of the lake?
It is on this island at the southern edge of the lake here.
Okay. Well, I don't think a lake counts as running water. So, yeah, I could find him.
Okay, so all we need to do is know,
It is the Allmother.
where she is.
The Allmother.
Then once
I
we
don't
know
want to
where
make
she
any
is,
judgments until we meet them.
we can go up to her chamber, cast seeming, and you'll waltz right in.
Are all 4 of you on board with this plan?
It sounds like a very bad idea.
I mean, the seeming part seems unnecessary.
Why is that?
Because Serenity could just walk in and be like, yo, what up?
Yeah, but they don't want to let the 3 Rangers in.
Well, who doesn't let the 3 Rangers in? We don't even know where she is. She could
Okay.
just be in some random location, not guarded, just there.
All right, well, we'll try that first then.
So is that all 4 of you are on board with this plan?
Yeah, let me ask. Well, I assume we're asking Serenity about this too.
I mean, what's her intention when you talk to her, Riot?
Feel her out. Trying to get a sense of where she lands on this whole. Who's she siding with?
Well, from the conversation, it sounds like she's siding with.
I guarantee you, if we asked each one of them who the All-Mother is siding with, they would name themselves.
Right.
You're true.
I want to go to the source here.
Okay.
It just seems like the fastest way of dealing with all this. If nothing happens without the All-Mother, let's just ask the All-Mother what's going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Mahogany.
Seems good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cast Locate Creature.
Aye, aye, Captain.
And locate creature.
That's what you should have said in the first place.
It's 1,000 feet.
And you're allowed to locate people you don't know.
No, if I don't need to know them personally. I just need to be able to like say their name or like something about them, like the All-Mother.
Like she's the All-Mother. Okay.
Unless, I mean, this wouldn't, because I'm looking for the All-Mother, who I know is a Swan May.
Mm-hmm.
If she happened to be polymorphed into something that wasn't a Swan May, I wouldn't be able to find her. But I mean, like, I'm assuming in either Swan or human form, I would look for her.
I need one person to make an investigation check to locate the All-Mother. That sounds like it's going to be Mahogany. Mahogany, I'll let you make this at advantage because you are using Locate Creature. The reason I'm making you roll a spell is because it's got a 1,000-foot reach and this temple is larger than that. I need one people to make an investigation check as far as scouting the... Assuming you don't want any other Swan May to know you're going in, somebody's going to make an investigation roll to determine how to get to that location without being seen. The third person will be telling me how they plan to stealthily get somebody to the All-Mother's location. So those 3 tasks need to be completed.
First task, finding out where the heck she actually is, 16.
A 16? Okay. Yeah. There are a lot of spires, a lot of towers around the periphery of the temple. A lot of this temple grounds are not used, especially a lot of the indoors area. They've just either been sealed or bricked off. But there are 2 towers along the very back of the island, along the north coast up here, which run all the way down to the water itself. And these are the All-Mother's quarters, these 2 towers. And they're connected at the top by a catwalk, and in the bottom through a tunnel leading one tower to the other. The only time most of the Swan may see the All-Mother is when she stands atop the catwalk and looks down upon the temple. So her location at any given time is in one of these 2 towers. And both tower entrances are guarded around the clock. Who's doing my guard reconnaissance?
I got it, and I'm at 21.
21. What time of day would you say you would like to get snuck in there?
What do you guys think? Night?
I would say just, if she comes at night, she's going to be worried that we have some nefarious intent. I'd just say at dawn.
Dawn? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The guard changes happen in such a way that there's never a time when the place is left unguarded. However, after the morning meal, when the tower guards are at their thinnest, a distraction might be able to pull somebody away long enough to slip inside.
Can I ask you a question just because it relates to our plans here?
Sure.
And I want to make sure that I was interpreting you, the DM, correctly.
I like questions.
When you said that she was like, oh, well, she would never say this, but you figure, oh, who knows what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't like, if you sneak in there, this is like one of the most horrible crimes that you guys could commit here. That was like, oh, this is just against tradition. Because you made it sound like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but it would just be like, put everyone against you. I want to make sure this isn't like, if we sneak in there, everyone's going to go at us.
Jestro was very, very adamant about not allowing anybody else to see the All-Mother. Mahogany's already working, and so is Liberation. Does anybody else spend any time investigating that particular train of thought? Like, what would happen if you were caught in those towers?
It seems like I don't know how to investigate that without like getting a bunch of attention on us.
Without tipping the hand.
I will let you do it with a charisma deception check to pull
Then I guess that's
information out without tipping
That's
your
probably
hand.
going to be Riot's job, I would imagine.
Okay. All right, Riot. Make a charisma deception roll.
Okay. Oh man, a 5. That only turns into an 18.
Only an 18.
Only.
That's ridiculous.
The question was, is this the worst crime that you committed against their culture, or is it just against tradition? And the answer to that is that those things are kind of one and the same. You are considered guests in their house for the duration of your stay here, and it's been made clear to you what areas are and are not off limits. So, being in an area where you've been told not to go is a huge breach of their trust and their tradition. Whether they would react violently, probably not. They're not a violent folk. Worst case scenario, assuming you guys don't fight the whole coven and kill them all, you would be ejected from the island. They would banish you
like
from
a
the
win-win.
place.
I say we send Serenity in there, and then if they get mad, oh well, guess the marriage isn't happening.
Right, then they've got, it's like they got their own problem to deal with that they've made.
Yeah, so let's just send only Serenity in there.
Yeah, I can cast Seeming on Serenity.
Okay.
Or go to Invisibility for that matter, but then I wouldn't know when to drop it.
So, Liberation, what time of day are we going to exploit this weakness in the guards, and what kind of distraction do you attempt to use?
You think your fish goddess could like create some kind of swarm of fish to like, I don't know, make them distracted somehow? Like just make a whole lot of ruckus on the lake?
I can't tell if that's a swan racial slur or not.
Because fish are known for their ability to distract people.
Like, oh, we put a bunch of fish out there, these fucking swans will go after them.
I want the fish to make a ruckus. Like, is that can your Osprey thingy do that?
Let me look up the dumbest spell that Ostrom lets me do, which is Fish Command.
It's real weird out there. You know that painting of 5 dogs playing poker? It's like that, but with fish. And here's the weird thing: they're not playing Go Fish.
Well, because at that point it's just go me.
I gotta get me some of that, says all the swan mays as they rush out the fucking door.
Try to
Wow.
Fish Command's going to be your distraction?
I'm looking up to see whether that would even work. What does Fish Command actually do?
Have you tried casting Limited Fish instead?
I don't think it's a spell. I think it's just a property of your trident.
Yeah,
So it's in the DMG.
but I don't know that because I've never used it before.
It's in the TMG.
Yeah, because it's a property of the magic item.
They have detailed rules for commanding fish.
Well, because the Trident of Fish Command, when 5th edition was new, the Trident of Fish Command was used in Penny Arcade's comic about how they have shitty magic items in this edition.
Yeah.
The Trident is a magic weapon. It has 3 charges. While you carry it, you can use an action to spend 1 charge and cast Dominate Beast from it on a beast that has an innate swimming speed. So the Fish Command works as Dominate Beast.
Yeah, so it is a spell. So I need to look up Dominate Beast now.
So
I feel like the app, if you look up Fish Command, it should just say "See Dominate Beast."
Keep in mind that, I mean, let's say it'll work on a school, because otherwise that's really, really dumb.
Yeah. If Brickroad will let me cast it on a school of fish, like, or I guess like technically a swarm of fish. I don't know.
I'll allow that. I want to see where this is going.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw a wrench into this work.
Oh my god, have you looked out the window? The fish are spelling out the spoilers to Lost.
Then I'll tell Liberation, I can make fish do whatever you want. What do you think that they're going to do?
I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far yet.
Okay, well we're here now.
What is Serenity doing during these investigations?
Nothing particularly.
Is she thinking about what she's going to say to the Allmother when she gets in there?
No, she'll figure that out when she gets there.
Okay. I mean, that's the correct answer.
McLean has.
Say that.
I got it. I got it.
Damned.
I got it. Is there any any religious symbology here in the in this temple? I would assume so. Yes.
Quite a lot. In fact, there's two different kinds, because remember, this was an elven shrine, an elven temple long ago, and some of those artifacts are still here.
What about something from the Swan May?
Yeah, there's a lot of that too.
Okay, maybe you could make one of the make the fish recreate one of the Swan May symbols.
Well, I can definitely do that. Here's my question.
Near the surface.
Near the surface. Gotcha.
You see where I'm getting at yet?
No.
Oh God! Come on.
Because and here's the thing. Why are the guards looking at the water?
I don't know.
They have to be looking at the water first for the distraction to work. Why are they looking at the water?
If you're just wanting to make me feel stupid, then just tell me I'm stupid, Riot. Come on now.
I have an idea. Lake monsters. The Mahogany taps the side of his nose.
What?
See? That's exactly what I wanted.
No. Oh, okay. If that's what you want, we got it. And Riot like leans in confidentially to Liberation. What kind of lake monster do you want to be?
Mahogany is still tapping the side of his nose, by the way.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Me?
I'll polymorph you into a lake monster.
What?
This is the better plan.
Still tapping.
You're mad.
But you open this door, Liberation.
Yeah.
Genius, but mad. Okay, let's do it.
All right.
We need just lake monster.
You could be a kraken. You could be like a giant eel, something like that. You want to be like I don't know, some kind of like water dinosaur type of thing.
Be a sexy mermaid.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think they're a beast. I don't think they turn you into sexy mermaid.
Have you ever heard anyone yelling, "Look, there's a giant eel attack"? No, there's a reason for that. Don't go with the eel.
So here's how I'm going to rule on this, because Polymorph says you can only transform into a beast that's of his level or lower, basically.
Right.
He's level 9, is it?
10.
10? So you have a lot of options.
Yeah. See, like the CR.
You have access to basically any beasts from the book, or an aquatic version of any beast from the book, because you're in Sigil and you've seen some shit.
Yeah.
So...
Is it Kraken a beast or is it Kraken a monstrosity?
Kraken is not CR10.
Is it fun? Like, is it like really cool and neat?
You could turn him into like a small Kraken.
Okay. A baby Kraken.
You can turn it into a crack-a-lack.
Basically, what I'm going to do is impose the same generous restrictions that I usually do for Mahogany summon animals.
Yeah.
Which I give him like the planner equivalents of weird animals and stuff. Mm-hmm. So
you turn into a crack.
I'm gonna turn him into a plesiosaur.
Okay.
Okay.
I look at that and I'm like, seen that before.
No, wait, actually, no, that's terrible because a plesiosaur is CR2. I thought A, a plesiosaur wouldn't exist, and B, that they would be higher CR than 2. But that's bad.
You want a Plesiosaurus Rex.
Pretty much.
The dire plesiosaur.
I've not seen plesiosaur anywhere in here.
Giant or plesiosaur.
Yeah, keep in mind you have access to beasts, and you have access to giant versions of those beasts, which will be stronger forms of them.
Let's turn him into Nessie and call him a giant plesiosaurus.
And Liberation is okay with this?
Sure. Why not?
If Liberation isn't... Well, if he's not okay with this, he's going to have to pass that save.
This is happening.
Okay.
So wait, are you guys at the lake when you're doing this, or is it just someday he's walking in the middle of the dining hall and then he's a plesiosaur?
Well, no, he's going to have to be in the lake first.
Yeah.
The next question is going to be very important. First of all, Mahogany, where are you going to be during this plesiosaur nonsense?
I mean, watching?
Watching from where? Where specifically? Like, do you want to be near to the towers where Serenity is slipping in? Do you want to be in the common areas somewhere else? It's going to be very important where you are.
Well, that's worrying, but I think I'd rather be in the common areas because I want to see how everyone reacts.
Okay. Now, do you want to be out in like the training yard and such, or you want to be like in the inside common areas?
I'm not really much of a training yard kind of person. If I've got the time for it, I'm going to be working on my stupid flute.
And you'll be doing that in the common area, not in your quarters?
Yeah. Okay. Indoors in the common area.
As you're working, Midnieg will be sharing conversation with you then.
That's fine. How often can they turn into a swan? Is that like a whenevs thing?
Midnieg doesn't know. Riot. How long does polymorph last?
Up to an hour.
So where are you going to do this polymorphing at? I mean, are you going to have him just jump off of the side of the island and land in the water, or go down with him, or how are you doing this?
Let me check something real quick.
Sure. And so, Serenity, you're going to be near to the tower, and as soon as the guard runs to investigate this plesiosaur, you're going to slip inside?
Yeah.
And we're not using any kind of polymorph or seeming or anything on Serenity? We're just letting her go in?
I don't think I can, because I have to...
I'm going to pass without trace, so I'll just try and sneak past.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is... greater invisibility my way out into the lake, so that nobody sees me leave or be near him or be down there. Then I can be underwater in range to cast it and just kind of stay down there until a while later happens.
So you're going to be out in the water with the plesiosaur during the distraction?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are going to be out over around the north edges of the lake. That's closest to the tower that Serenity's trying to slip into.
Correct.
The whole plan goes off without a hitch. Mahogany, you hear, there's a lake monster! There's a lake monster! There's excitement in the commons. And Serenity, you see two of the Swanmei running out with bows and arrows. And they exchange quick words with the two guards in front of the tower entrance. Then all four of them transform into swans and fly up to the outer curtain walls of the temple.
Okay.
Actually, Rick,
yeah.
What I'm going to do...
What?
Because I was trying to figure out how to, leave the scene without being seen, and I realized...
Non-cypher bonus.
I can cast... Well, no, this isn't even a cypher bonus thing. I can cast a Dimension Door just to leave once I've cast.
And that gets you 500 feet or so?
Yeah, it gets me 500 feet.
And
but it gets me not in the lake.
Where would you like to be, though? Are you going to be on the shores outside the curtain wall, or are you going to try to make your way back into the temple?
Yeah, I'll try to make my way back into the temple.
Just Dimension Door back into your room.
Not from the lake, she can't.
Oh, yeah.
It's further than 500 feet. Okay. Serenity, the inside of these towers are very dark. There are not even candles lit. You see sconces in the walls, but they are empty. The base of the tower, it's very cold inside here, and there's no furniture inside. There's a spiral staircase running counterclockwise in both directions. One heads up into the catwalk area, and one heads down. A few moments, as you're standing there pondering whether or not you go up or down, you hear a woman's soft voice from above you that said, "The feathers told me the bride would be seeking me out, but I was not expecting a lake monster."
That's convenient.
I'll start my way up the stairs.
What light source do you have, if any?
None right now. How dark is it?
It's very dark. The only source of light are small, basically arrow slits in the side of this tower where sunlight is pouring in. So you can't make out the features of the old stooped woman. But she takes you by the hand, very delicately, one of your hands and both of hers, and she leads you up the tower to where there's a landing, maybe a floor or two beneath the catwalk. And she brings you into a more opulent chamber. And the only light in this room is a fire in the hearth, in the center of the room. On the far end of the room is a door that connects to the other tower. And this room is furnished to be very comfortable. It's still very cold in here, except if you're near the fire. But she has bookshelves. She has a small area to prepare and eat food. She has a vast wardrobe. And you see, as she brings you into the firelight, you behold her face. You can see that she's blind. She tells you that she doesn't imagine you have a great amount of time before your amusing deception is discovered. So any topics you wish to broach with her should be done quickly.
What is your actual opinion of the prophecy? To be a metaphor? Or
she smiles a bit, and she walks away from the fire into the back of the room to an alcove surrounded on each side by bookshelves. In the center of it is a large basin, which at first looks similar to like a fire pit, like you'd see in like your dad's backyard or something. But she walks over to it. She speaks some words in her very sylvan-sounding Swanmate tongue. And you see a swirl of wind inside the basin as thousands and thousands of feathers kick up. And they begin forming shapes and images in them. And she says that she has consulted the feathers many times as to the meaning of the prophecy, as to whether or not the bride they have awaited so long for has finally arrived. And the answer that she was given was that the course of action proposed by all three of her rangers was improper. That was incorrect. But that only allowing the three of them to be tried and failed would the evil of the Druidic order be purged.
Well, that's unassuring.
And she tells you that prophecy often is.
Told you.
You asked Midniag down there?
So you don't have a strong opinion towards any. You think they should do all three. They should dam the river, march inevitably to a lot, and destroy much of the valley, march to a war they're going to lose, and also have a pointless marriage. And that will get rid of the Druids.
She says that she believes it is not the place of the Coven to deny these Druids their place in the forest. That perhaps their time here in this temple on this island is coming to an end. And perhaps that time will end with blood and fire, or perhaps that time will end with a mass migration. But either way, the importance is not in the success or the failing. The importance is that her three rangers determine the next stage of their Coven's life cycle. Where do they go next from here, now that her time is drawing to an end?
Is one of them going to replace you whenever you pass away? Or is there some other method that happens?
And she says that largely depends on the size of the folly that one of them will lead us to. Or all three of them will lead us to. Or none of them will lead us to, if another course of action can be decided upon. She says that when the feathers showed her that you would come to visit her, that she was perplexed because she doesn't receive visitors. And she was further perplexed because she's been told of your misgivings about the marriage. She doesn't believe you're the prophesized bride. She doesn't know whether or not that person exists. But she expresses gratitude to your conviction and your interest in these matters. That you have the Coven's best interests at heart. And that she is certain that your involvement, whatever their next stage is, you will see them safely to it.
I'll thank her for her time and bow and leave.
As you're turning to leave, are you leaving by the tower you came in, or the other one?
I mean, I'm not a monk. I can't just walk down the wall.
So go, but this room connects to both of the towers.
Oh, yeah. No, because that's the one where I know the guards aren't.
As you're moving that direction, you hear the most horrific roar of your life coming from somewhere echoing outside of the tower. Riot, you see it first. Because Liberation at this point is diving deep into the lake to avoid this volley of arrows coming from the curtain walls. Riot, you've made your way back to the island and back to the outside of the curtain wall, and are currently making your way around where you figure you'll climb up and get back into the cathedral from the outside. And you see, first of all, everything is shrouded in shadow for a moment, and you're thinking it's an eclipse or something, and you look up and you see the shape of a black dragon. And it's larger than any creature you've ever seen, except for maybe that dragon turtle. You did meet a turtle once.
Yeah.
And you are instantly paralyzed for a moment with fear of this thing. And it's swooping in at the cathedral, and it makes a large circle around. Mahogany.
Yeah.
Hearing this roar inside, Midniag immediately gets to her feet, reaches down and grabs her knives from out of her belt, looks at you for a second, and then sprints out the door.
Yeah, let's go.
Mahogany, you run out into the courtyard, and you form up immediately, or you come out immediately behind this line of swan maids that have formed up with bows and arrows, drawing on this beast. And someone shouts out, one of the women shouts out, "It's dropping something! Something's fallen off!" And you do see a shape shaken loose from this dragon, and it falls into the courtyard. And it moves in the most bizarre way, because it doesn't hit and splatter. It falls, and it tucks and rolls forward, and immediately turns, and you realize it's a gnome holding a bow with no arrow. And it is the oldest gnome you've ever beheld in your life.
And Mahogany goes... That was the sound of me spreading, like, smiling and clapping my hands.
And we will close the session there. With the arrival at long last of Grandfather Zook.
McLean is happy.
Mahogany goes, "Yay!"
All right. Wow, we finished right at 6:32. That's close enough.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and
Close enough for government work.
hands out some blips here. I wouldn't know. I've never worked for the government. My wife works for the government.
Believe me, yes, it does. It is close enough for government work.
My wife and almost all of our friends are teachers, so yeah, that's...
I'm a contractor.
All right.
Oh, I did work at the post office. That counts.
Yeah, that does count. Yeah, let me make a straw poll here.
So this is ridiculous.
I had the feeling you guys were ready for a little bit of ridiculousness.
Oh yeah, you had the feeling Mahogany was in for a little bit of ridiculousness? They had that suspicion?
Hey, I get to be a plesiosaur for a little while.
That's why it's important to know where everybody was at the start of this dragon's arrival. Because we're going to be rolling some initiative next session.
How long does polymorph last, by the by?
An hour.
An hour.
Is it concentration?
Mm-hmm.
It is. But seeming isn't, so I'm going to say I actually cast seeming on you.
I mean,
And,
no,
you,
well,
and you were there in the guise of one of the rangers.
There you go.
Is that
There's a
all right
straw
with you,
poll.
Rick, is that all right with you?
Wait, what was the question? I was busy making a straw poll.
Oh yeah, that I had cast. I realized later on that seeming was not a concentration spell, so I could have cast it on Serenity. So, like, she was there as one of the rangers. I'll say gesture for irony's sake.
Yeah, that's fine, but, I mean, the Allmother would have seen through it immediately. You
That's fair.
Would not have fooled her.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's blind.
Yeah.
The Watcher was blind too.
No, the Watcher just had artificial eyes.
Yeah, it wasn't blind.
So we give blips out. We give one blip for the most creative solution of the session. Who was the most creative this week?
Can I nominate Plesiosaur?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think Liberation deserves one for the Plesiosaur idea.
The
Lake monster.
the only problem with that plan is we were started by saying let's get cracking.
Well, Plesiosaur is not a kraken.
Exactly. See, that's why. That was my only problem with the plan. Is at one point it was possible we would have been able to say that, but we can't.
Ogo, Pogo. All right. we give one blip for the assist. Who furthered the party's goals the most this week?
Let's see. I'm probably Serenity, I would have to say.
Yeah, I was going to say either Serenity or Riot, depending on your opinion on our goals.
All
Down
right,
for Serenity.
Serenity, okay. We give one blip for the badass. Who was the biggest badass this week?
I don't know.
I would say Riot because Riot was just acting just like the like she had the most swagger today. I think what we badassed this week so much as swag, and Riot definitely demonstrated swag.
Hashtag swag.
Yeah.
Are we down with Riot? I'm down with that.
Yeah, okay with it.
Intangibles.
I enjoyed the Fire Elemental.
I was waiting for somebody to say fire elemental.
Man, when Kelian's not here, it's really easy to get everyone a moment, huh?
Yeah.
We should just kick him out.
Sorry, Kelian, you're fired.
Out of a cannon into the sun.
Do we have any triple no's for belief points this week?
It's been so long I forget what the questions are.
If you act in accordance to your belief, whether you learn anything new, and whether they are changing. If not, somebody can volunteer to go first.
I'll go first.
What is Liberation's belief?
It's not enough to go for the quick fix, but I cannot always solve the root problem. I'll do what I can, and I believe he did because he kept trying to figure out, okay, what can we do about this whole situation? We can't really do a whole lot to change these people's beliefs because they're so crazy. So what can we do to work within those beliefs?
And the answer to that question was Lake Monster.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Is Liberation learning anything new about his beliefs?
Nah.
And are they changing?
No, they just changed.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Riot's. What's Riot's belief?
Laws are best followed in a manner that demonstrates their absurdity.
And did Riot act in accordance with that belief?
This is why it was important for me to have Seeming up, because now she can say, knowing that no one but the Rangers was allowed to see her, she can say, oh, well, Serenity was a Ranger when she saw her.
I was kind of, Riot was very uncharacteristically lawful this session. What with the, I'm the party leader, and, you should really think about other people sometimes, Serenity, instead of just all rushing in. Did Riot learn anything new about her beliefs?
Let's see. No. And
are they changing?
I want to say yes, because I have a new one written for. Because remember we talked about this a bit,
right?
And I sent you that belief banana.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's ever going to come into play, or should I just cash it in now?
Well, it's like I said, I didn't want you to cash it in 2 weeks ago because I knew that there would be a lot of other stuff happening before the wedding.
Yeah, and now there's not going to be a wedding.
Well, there might still be.
But I think Destil says there's not going to be, though.
There are drugs you can,
Wow.
I mean, because everyone is going to get eaten by this dragon, so no wedding. That's in my clause with the place I'm getting married. If everyone gets eaten by a dragon, we get our deposit back.
But I did know the situation was very likely to change away from the wedding. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make sure you had the opportunity to use the banana in a more relevant way if it turned out there wasn't a wedding. So you can go ahead and cash that in if you want to do something more immediate, or you can hold on to it if you want to push for that wedding still.
I think I'll go ahead and cash it in. So, new belief is the weak cannot expect the strong to protect them without repaying their efforts.
Okay.
That's pretty Kelian of you there.
It sort of is, but not in like a monetary sense. There's currency other than money, and that's currency that Riot is going to be interested in the future.
Okay, and just go ahead and email me if you're changing the banana. I don't want it to be said out loud between sessions.
Yeah, I'll email you.
Okay, and who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Mahogany. What's Mahogany's belief?
That everything has a perfect state of being, and it's up for them to decide it.
And did Mahogany act in accordance with that belief this week?
Yes, and most personally, it was the most internal part of a belief, I think. But it was that, like, he found out that his perfect state of being has been changed, not up to him, and he fought against it.
Okay. Did you learn anything new?
Not about beliefs.
And are your beliefs changing?
Nope. But I do have something to act on, which is Mahogany has his bond right now is I should become a factotum of the ciphers.
Yeah.
And he, through trying to figure out what was going on with him today, tried to think of like why he should do things, and he basically finished up with that bond not by achieving it, but by realizing it was an incorrect bond. Because he'll become a factotum of the ciphers when he's supposed to become a factotum of the ciphers.
That's something.
It's not something that he should be trying to achieve.
Okay, is he going to select a new bond?
Yes.
Okay, do you know what that is yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is the new bond?
What was the name of that guy who brought me back from the dead?
Mr. E.
I will prevent Mr. E from changing anyone else without their permission.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Bear with me 1 second. Okay. And Serenity, your belief is that marriage is bullshit.
Yep.
My belief is that I will interpose myself and my companions before full-on oppression and push them forward.
And did Serenity live that belief this week?
Nope.
I think she did.
How so?
In trying to come up with the plan with the dwarves to not permanently block, but also not lead them off into a war that would basically destroy the Swan May.
So how does that work with you and your companions? Like, okay, I've come up with this new idea, and maybe it'll blow up, but whether it works or it doesn't, then we're going to be here to clean up the mess either way?
Basically, she figured she had all the leverage in the situation as the actual betrothed, so it wouldn't really matter in the end what their companions were saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question.
It was much more expedient to just let them run around, think they were doing things, and
That was a very kind of Riot interpretation of the thing. Is Serenity learning anything new about her beliefs?
not really.
And are they changing?
No.
All right, everybody can take one belief point.
I have an objection to that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Riot pointed out on 3 separate occasions in this session that Serenity had the chance to interpose herself literally between these people and harm, and she passed down the opportunity to do it every time.
Yeah, but I don't believe that's an actual thing, and I want to know: does Riot actually think that? Because this whole time I've been operating under the idea that she's full of shit.
No, Riot genuinely believes in its prophecy.
Why?
And like she wasn't bullshitting either when she said that's how magic works. Riot's a bard, remember? Stories and prophecies are a big deal to Riot.
Serenity just doesn't believe the prophecy at this point. Like, she just doesn't actually buy into it because it seems like she'd just be leading everyone either to inaction, which will get them all killed, or an action that will get them all killed.
So
Neither of which
warning,
seems
everybody
particularly
gets-
in line with her personal beliefs.
Everybody can take one belief point. Riot, you can take 2 since you actually changed your beliefs. So you cashed in all 6, and then you can add those 2 in.
Yeah.
We'll see who is straw pulling over here. Okay. Blips are worth $10.50 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, Riot. Even if the wedding doesn't happen, I'll give you the chance to play that song and still give you a blip for it.
All right.
We're not forfeiting the song blip. I will reward
Yeah.
creative works about the campaign, no matter whether they remain relevant or not.
Yeah, that's the 6th reason that not even Riot knew about why she won. waiting to happen.
Because they want that blip, huh?
Want that blip?
Riot, I didn't give you... I did actually give everybody one blip for their part in getting Serenity into the tower. Kind of an encounter blip. I liked the creative solutions to that. Well done, everybody. Riot, I didn't give you anything on top of that, but you walked off with the badass and the straw poll.
Okay.
Liberation, I didn't give you any... I did give you one, because you sang an incredible... happy Flumph Festivus song.
Yep.
So you can take a blip for that. One for the creative blip. Kelian gets Jack. Serenity, you're taking the assist blip. In addition, I awarded you your alignment blip. Good is helping the weak and less fortunate. On the provision that Serenity sees these Swanmei as weak and in need of her protection. Is that how she feels about it?
I mean, yeah, individual. I mean, not individually, but there's just so few of them. It seems like, it seems like most of them could probably hold their own with one druid, but it also seems like there's probably about 1,000 druids, and there's only about 100 Swanmei.
Everybody else in the group had their own ideas on what these Swanmei should do, like whether this prophecy is real or whether it's not. Serenity spent every single scene pursuing the goal in the sense of how do we just get it done? Never mind what will or won't work with this prophecy or this dam or whatever. What's the best course of action to just protect everybody from these druids? And I think Serenity went above and beyond. And that's why the All-Mother received you so well. Otherwise, she would have rang the bell. I also gave you your faction blip for the way you answered some of Riot's questions during the little philosophical debate that we had. So you got your faction blip for that. And Mahogany, did I give you anything? I didn't. You're getting the intangibles blip. Oh, and one for your bond. So you're getting 3. So Riot has 3, Liberation has 2, Serenity has 4.
Oh, just because this will be the last chance to bring it up because it was relevant to my bond, is that up until now, Mahogany's kind of been looking at Serenity as like a model cipher, basically.
Yep.
But now he's pretty sure she's wrong, and not only wrong, but like doesn't even see that there could be another viewpoint about what being a cipher means.
Okay. Well, that sounds like it's going to come into play. Not to spoil anything, but I do have a rather cipher-heavy adventure planned down the road. So I'm
sure Riot will love that.
I like that we have 2 very different interpretations on the Transcendent Order going into that. How did I think they were going to kill the NPC with the explodey heads? No, I didn't, and that's why I didn't have them roll initiative right off the bat. This NPC was introduced so they'd have someone to fight this dragon with.
Hey, speaking of which, Brick,
yeah.
How frustrated were you that when we were on the south end, like two squares away from the dragon's lair, and then decided to go north?
Wait, where you mean?
I mean, we were tracking that dragon, right? Because we thought it would lead to Zook, and then we knew where the dragon was, more or less.
Oh, you were nowhere near the dragon's lair, don't worry.
Okay.
And then we were just like, fuck the dragon, we're gonna go play.
Yeah, I think the dragon's
4
over
sessions.
like here.
Yeah, the dragon's far over that direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where the cave you guys went through and fought the frog Hemoth was just like a waypoint for some of the dragon's minions.
Gotcha.
All right. So next Sunday I should have everybody, right? Everybody's going to be back to play next Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be back.
The extra super exciting thing about our game next Sunday, I mean, for one, Black Dragon Battle. Let's go, right?
It's Zook.
For 2, I got a stat block for Zook that I'm going to let you guys play with. That'll be fun.
Wait, I think you should
I was really hoping.
I think
I was really hoping
he
we
could come back. I would have
I was
hoped
really hoping
could
if
come
McLean
back.
had time, he could play Zook.
If he is able to hop into the Discord next Sunday and play Zook, I would definitely allow it. I don't have a character sheet for it. It's just a stat block, so he'd be running with a stat block. But more exciting than any of that is next Sunday is the beginning of AGDQ, and that's one of my favorite times of the year. I'll be hosting the marathon on my channel all week. Something like
Does Zelda run during our game?
It's Zelda during my game, and then I forget what they're opening with, but at like 9:30 or so p.m., so a couple hours after we're done, we're going to break, we're all going to have time to go eat dinner or whatever. Metal Gear Solid 2 European Extreme run. It's an awesome run, and it'll be the first one I watch of AGDQ 2017. So next week's Flumph will be my only stream for the week, so I'll be hosting AGDQ all week. And I hope all of you come out and hang out with us. That'll be a great time.
Yeah, it's good
It
time.
sounds like we're going to have exactly 4 hours to kill the dragon before Brick just says, okay, the whole party's dead.
No,
Switching over to HHQ.
Well,
I think we need to have another one of those settings where like we all get to go into a separate Discord,
Yeah.
so that we can all just talk about AGDQ again.
well, it's going to be an interesting battle to run because basically the party is totally split up right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure Plesiosaur is really good against dragons, though.
my intention was that you guys would end this session enacting one of these 3 plots. Either the marriage, or the ritual to dam the river, or amassing the Swanmay for war. But then this awesome plot with the distraction, and hey, let's get Serenity in to talk to the Allmother. And I'm like, this is way better, because now we'll be all split up.
Remember when you were like, "Oh yeah, there's going to be 3 options," but
Yep.
you fuckers.
we found the 4th.
Oh, so like either the dragon was going to crash the wedding, or there would be an army amassed to fight now the dragon, or
Right.
something else with the
Yeah,
dam.
the dragon was going to interrupt whatever of the 3 you guys chose. I really enjoyed how much conflict there was in the party about these 3 options.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
I
I think
enjoyed
this is
all
the
of that back and
most in
forth.
sync Mahogany and Liberation have been since the beginning of Liberation. Like we were both just like, "No, this is a bad plan."
But yeah, that was very enjoyable to me. That's like pure Planescape, when you have all the players having a philosophical debate amongst each other. You don't get more pure Planescape than that. Everything else about Planescape is window dressing, and that's like the core of it to me. But yeah, I do have a pretty cipher-heavy adventure planned for, I don't know if immediately after this, but in the future. So it's very interesting to me that we have different takes on the Transcendent Order. I'm also very interested to see how Mahogany pursues this Mr. E nonsense. I'm not gonna lie.
Going to limbo.
Part of me is kind of hoping Mahogany just says screw the ciphers and joins the Doomguard. I was thinking there's a chance Nodal will just embrace this. So it's going to go to interesting places. I like that we had a lot of interesting adventures in the last game, but I feel like most of like the combat stuff was the most interesting thing. In this campaign, I'm glad that the interesting stuff is coming from
The character interaction.
exactly the characters and their philosophies and their interactions. So next week, Dragon, then AGDQ, and we got all these dice stacked here.